managed to get my hands on two vintage Seiko 6139s, aka the Pogue, and the new Speedtimers with the similar colorway. Now, is this a modern reinterpretation of the Pogue, or is this a Pogue? Back on November 16, 1973, Colonel William Pogue, a NASA astronaut, boarded the Saturn IV rocket. He put a Seiko wristwatch in the pocket of his spacesuit. You see, he had trained for the mission with his personal Seiko, and it wasn't until after the training that NASA issued him the Omega Speedmaster. Therefore, Mr. Pogue had a soft spot for his Seiko and had to sneak it on board for the mission. Little did he know he would be making history, as the Seiko would become the first automatic chronograph worn in space. Crazy to think that Colonel Pogue purchased his beloved Seiko for $71 at the time at a kiosk in the airbase. When asked why he wore the Seiko during the mission, Colonel Pogue said, and I quote, "I found this Seiko to be very convenient when measuring burn time of rocket engine using the rotating bezel." Unfortunately, the watch did leave his personal collection as it sold at auction in 2008 for only $5,900, $5,975 to be exact, and the money was actually donated to the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation. Fast forward to 2024, and Seiko's releasing two new Solar Prospect Speedtimers, the yellow mustard dial SSC 947 and the blue dial variant, the SSC 913. Clearly, these are not reissues of the original 6139, they're simply paying homage to those pieces. Finding a vintage version of the 6139 in good condition and with original parts is nearly impossible and very costly. I personally love the history and funky aesthetic of the case, but vintage watches are not for everyone. For $700, Seiko gives you a lot of watch. You get modern specs and sizing. The case and bracelet are constructed of 316L stainless steel. The case measures in at 41.4 millimeters. It's 45.9 millimeters from lug to lug. The thickness comes in at 13 millimeters, and in between the lugs, 21 millimeters. Protecting the dial, we do find a domed sapphire crystal with inner AR. The watch has a water resistance of 100 meters, and the entire watch with the unsized bracelet weighs in at 164 grams. Believe me, these new ones feel completely different on the wrist. For reference, my wrist measures in at 6 7/8 inches. I've said it in previous videos, Seiko needs to slim down this watch to sub 10 millimeters, make the lug width 20 millimeters, and reduce the overall weight. Clearly, the stars of the show are the dials and Pepsi bezel colorway of the blue and red. Seiko did a killer job making that yellow/mustard dial look very similar to the original. However, the blue definitely looks different. It's a rich deep blue that changes to a lighter sun ray dial when the light hits it. On the vintage model, what you get is a watch with no running seconds and only one sub register at the 6 o'clock. The design leaves enough room to fit a date double window. On the modern version, the chronograph function measures up to 60 minutes of elapsed time in 1/5 second increments and includes a split time function. The dial features 3 sub-dials, including 24-hour power reserve indicators and a date calendar. It's cool to see that Seiko used very similar style hands and indices, and even a red chronograph hand and sub-dial hands. Something that took me by surprise is the fact that the vintage versions still have some lume on them, but they don't come close to the lume bright of the new ones. It glows very nice and has been applied on the hands and the indices. I won't go into detail about the bracelets on the 6139 as they've been paired on new Uncle Strap bracelets. The bracelets on the new Speedtimer in typical Seiko fashion are not great but are well constructed. We do find a tri-fold push button release clasp that's been signed with the Seiko logo, and it's pretty easy to operate. The 6139 movement on the vintage pieces had a combination of the compact automatic winding mechanism with a vertical clutch for more precise stopwatch measurement and a column wheel. This new one is powered by the Seiko Solar V192 movement with a 6-month power reserve. This movement has a frequency of 32,768 Hz and has an accuracy of ±15 seconds per month. I have high hopes that Seiko will release an actual modern reinterpretation of the 6139, but until then, these two new pieces will definitely scratch the Pogue itch. Rumor on the street is that Seiko is getting flooded with orders for these, and there's even a 6-month wait list. I do want to thank my friend Brian from GQ Jewelers for lending me his personal 6139s and of course the new models. Go support him, he's in San Diego, amazing guy. And if you like these models, reach out to him, let him know that I sent you, and he'll take care of you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on these new color variants, and do you think they deserve the hype, or is social media overhyping them? Until next time, be safe out there and stay humble.